Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Northern Soul Reaper, and what I thought I'd do today is a anime, manga and light novel haul for January 2020, just to show you guys what I've picked up. I've picked up, let's have a look, I think about 11 things, and it's a combination of, like I say, anime, manga and light novels. So let's get started. First thing I picked up is the Blu-ray for A Silent Voice. This is based upon a manga and it follows the story of Shoko and Shoya. Shoko is a young girl who is bullied at school because she has a hearing impairment, and Shoya is the bully who spurs the class on into making fun of her. And it picks up years later when Shoya is feeling guilty and he tries to track down Shoko to apologise. I picked this up from my local HMV. They had it quite cheap. I think it was tagged as $6.99, and then when I took it to the counter it was $4.99, so I managed to get a good deal on that. Another film that I picked up is The Garden of Worlds. This one is directed by Makoto Shinkai, and obviously most well known for Your Name and Weathering with You, and I'm really looking forward to watching this one. Haven't watched it yet. It tells the story of two unlikely lovers who meet up in a park during the rainy season. I haven't really heard much about it, to be honest, but if it's anything like Makoto Shinkai's other work, I'm expecting it to be just as thought-provoking and poignant as his other films. So I'm really looking forward to giving that a watch. Next up we have some manga. Picked this up in the 3 for 2 from Travelling Man. It is volume 8 of Assassination Classroom, and it continues the tropical island arc with Class 3E on their little trip, which obviously goes awry because Koro Sensei is involved. Really like Assassination Classroom. Me and my wife have finished the anime, so I'm just sort of slowly making my way through picking up the manga collections. Really love it, love the story, love the artwork, and I mean, you know, who doesn't love Koro Sensei? Next up with manga is The Legend of Zelda, the Ocarina of Time Legendary Edition. Not much to say about this one. I'm a big fan of The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time being one of my favourite in the series, so saw this on the shelf and knew I had to pick it up, and with it being in the 3 for 2 as well, you know, it's always a good deal. I also picked up The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages Legendary Edition. To be honest, I wanted to get Majora's Mask, but Traveller Man didn't have it at the time, so I picked this one up. I mean, I've played these games as well and really enjoy them. I was looking for Majora's Mask, but I will probably be picking that up at a later date as well, but still looking forward to giving the Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages a read as well. The last manga that I picked up is All You Need Is Kill. This is the manga adaptation of the novel. The first kind of introduction to it, to be honest, that I had was the film with Tom Cruise. But I really like the story, and I saw this. I got this cheap on eBay. It's a 2-in-1, so it has both volumes in one. And also the art is by Takeshi Obata, who is most famous, I think, for Death Note. So that was another reason that I wanted to pick this up. I managed to pick this up through like a book reseller. I'm a little bit disappointed the cover there has a little bit of damage, but I got it cheap enough that I'm not that bothered, and to be honest I just want to read it. You know, I'm not too fussed about being on the shelf and looking pristine, so yeah, really looking forward to that one. I love Takeshi Obata's art, especially in Death Note, so I am really looking forward to giving that a read. Next up we have a novel. This is The Miracles of Hanami General Store. Now I've finished this. I picked it up and read it almost in 2 or 3 days. I was done with it. It's absolutely fantastic. I've seen it on various channels and websites doing the rounds, so, and when I saw the cover, it really stood out as one that I wanted to read. I don't want to spoil too much, but the premise is that the Hanami General Store gives advice through an advice box in the mail slot. But what actually happens is these advice letters manage to make their way through time, and what begins on an sort of unassuming night is a story that is woven through the ages, and it brings all these people together, and kind of first it puts out all these threads, and then it manages to kind of pull them all back together, and it's a really impressive and lovely book, and it's really heartwarming. I would definitely recommend that. I might try and do a more in-depth review on it, if that's something you guys would be interested in. Next up we have another novel, The Night is Short, Walk On Girl. Again, saw this through various other YouTube channels and websites, and I mean, look at that cover, it's just gorgeous. I knew when I saw it I had to pick it up. It tells the story of a young college girl who on a night she goes out and she attracts the attention of young men around her, but it particularly follows one of a fellow classmate, an upperclassman who has a bit of a crush on her, and it follows I believe through his perspective of kind of not stalking her, but kind of following her on her journeys through the night. Yet to read it, but I am really looking forward to reading it. I believe it's been made into a film, so once I've read the book I'll probably be tracking that down. Next up we have Overlord Volume 1. This is the one that I've been really looking forward to picking up and reading. I'm actually in the middle of reading it now. It tells the story of Momonga, who is a player in a virtual MMO called Yggdrasil. And it begins, the opening kind of chapters are right at the end of Yggdrasil's life. The game is about to be shut down, and Momonga wants to be in the world one last time just as the servers go down. But when they do, he realizes that he hasn't been logged out, and what's stranger is the world seems to be real, more real than than it was when he was in the virtual world. And it's kind of the first volume for sure is him kind of coming to terms with that, and meeting the various characters who were NPCs but now seem to be fully fledged people. It's really good so far. Really enjoying it. This is probably another one that I'm gonna do maybe a bit more of a review on. We also have, speaking of video games, Sword Art Online Volume 1. Me and my wife, we love the anime for this, so when I saw this in Traveller Man had it for 50% off, knew I had to pick it up and give it a read. It tells the story of Kirito. He enters this new virtual MMO called Sword Art Online. But what happens is, when the game is finally kind of turned on and everyone's inside, it's revealed that they are all trapped there, and the only way to leave is to beat the final level of the game. However, the catch is, if your avatar dies, the neural link that you're playing the game through actually kills the player, the person playing, so you cannot die. So it kind of follows Kirito as he tries to navigate this world. I kind of, with these two, it sort of triggered that, like, the nostalgic feeling within me, because I'm a retired, lapsed World of Warcraft player. So, any kind of novel about a virtual MMO kind of tweaks that that nostalgia of, like, oh yeah, I remember going in and forming a guild and playing through, doing the raids and things. So it kind of, I'm enjoying them for that reason. The next light novel that I picked up is So I'm a Spider, So What? Yes, the title sounds ridiculous, but I mean, look at that artwork. Absolutely gorgeous. It tells the story of a young girl who dies and is reincarnated as a spider, and it kind of follows her through the trials and tribulations of that. Not read it yet, but I am really looking forward to giving it a go. And also, I mean, isekais generally are quite bonkers. We've got that time I was reincarnated as a slime, so I'm a spider, so what, shouldn't really be a surprise. But yeah, really looking forward to that one. the next light novel that I picked up is Spice and Wolf. This is a fantasy light novel that tells the story of a young travelling merchant who befriends the harvest goddess, and she's grown weary with just watching over the fields and the crops of the villagers. So she strikes a deal with this young man and says, if you take me on your travels, I will use my wolf-like cunning to increase your sales and profits. I haven't read this yet. I picked it up on again on eBay through like a reseller. There's a slight mark on the back, but I'm not too fussed. I couldn't find this in any local shops, so I had to kind of go on eBay and find it. Really looking forward to reading that one. And bringing up kind of to the end of this haul, and the final light novel that I've picked up is Suba. Yes, seen this on loads of different channels, and every time I'm kind of looking for what light novels to read, Suba's the one that always comes up. So decided to pick it up. Tells the story of Kazuma, who he like most of these, he dies, and when he is reborn into this new world, he is given the choice of an ability, a power. So he chooses Aqua, the goddess, and what follows is obviously hilarity, but he finds that yes, his goddess is useless. So it's kind of like a, that's where the comedy foil comes in from that one. Really cannot wait to start this one. I'm probably going to read this one after I finished Overlord, to be perfectly honest. It's obviously quite, you'll notice, quite light novel heavy, this haul. The reason for that being because I'm just getting into the light novels. I've decided to pick up a few volume 1s, and then I'll kind of read them all and then decide from there which ones I want to keep up, because I don't think I will kind of keep up all of these to completion and kind of keep current with them. So I'm going to give them all a read and see which ones really take my fancy. So that's the haul, and we have obviously our various mangas and films and light novels. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it gave you a bit of an insight into what I've picked up. If you liked the video, please consider leaving a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, it would mean a lot if you would subscribe to the channel. It would really mean a lot. And in the comments below as well, let me know what you guys have picked up this month. Let me know what you've been reading, whether manga or light novels or even anime. Let me know what you're watching as well. Yeah. I've been Northern Soul Reaper. Thank you very much for watching this haul, and until next time, goodbye.